Hello and welcome back to RetroHaven. In the last video, we explored the story behind the creation of Resident Evil and the amazing things that led to this fantastic franchise burst into existence. Today, we will continue our Resident Evil retrospective with the story of the original Resident Evil game. Okay guys, before we start, let's set some rules. Since the game has two main characters, the story will be told from two different perspectives. And we will not include any information that came from the other pieces of work in the lore and future titles. We will focus on the story of the original Resident Evil as it told, or to be more precise, what was shown to us. With that out of the way, this is Daniel from RetroHaven and welcome to Resident Evil Retrospective Part 2. The day is July 24th, 1998. A lot of cannibalistic behaviors and murders were reported to the police forces in Raccoon City, and it has led to the special forces known as STARS to dispatch Bravo team for investigation. But after the night passes, contact with Bravo team is lost. This led to the leader of the STARS, Albert Wesker, to personally get himself involved and dispatch Alpha team to accomplish two objectives. One, find out what happened to the Bravo team, and two, continue the investigation on the reported cases. STARS are some of the best and the most talented police force members. The name STARS stands for Special Tactics and Rescue Squad, and Alpha team is led by Captain Wesker himself. The other members of the Alpha team are Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Barry Burton, Joseph Frost, and Brad Vickers. Soon after the team reached the Arklay region, they find the Bravo team's chopper. It was abandoned, and they started searching the surrounding area. Joseph Frost found a severed hand, still holding the gun, and then the team were attacked by a pack of vicious, half-rotten dogs. Unfortunately, Joseph did not survive this incident, and the pilot, Brad Vickers, overcame by fear during the panic and chaos. So he took off with the helicopter and left everyone behind. The team had no other choice but to run for the close-by mansion. Unfortunately, the team were separated on their way to the mansion. Wesker, Barry, and Jill could not find Chris and began searching for him. Wesker ordered Jill and Barry to search the nearby dining hall. But instead of finding Chris, they faced a zombie feasting on the corpse of the Bravo team's Kenneth J. Sullivan. Barry took down the zombie using his trusty Magnum, and when they returned to report to Captain Wesker, he was nowhere to be found. So Barry and Jill decided to split up to cover more ground in order to look for clues and find a safe way out. They soon figured out that the mansion is full of cryptic, locked doors and puzzles, and all of the mansion's former residents are now zombies. On the other hand, Chris, who did enter the mansion separately, was trying to find a way out by himself. He too found the body of the Kenneth J. Sullivan. A while later, Chris discovered that his friend and rival, the marksman of the Bravo team, Forrest Speyer, was pecked to death by zombie crows. Things were not good for the Alpha team, and it seems like Bravo team did not fare much better. Chris decided to move forward and ran into youngest member of the Bravo team, the chemical and medical expert of the STARS, Rebecca Chambers. She was hiding in one of the rooms, and from that moment onward, Chris and Rebecca teamed up. And at the same time with the other team, which means Jill and Barry, they tried to cover the mansion on different paths. After some time, Chris found another member of the Bravo team, the communication expert Richard Aiken. He was severely injured and looked like something huge has bit into his body. It seems like he was poisoned, and the effect of the poison were manifested in his arm. Things were not looking good for him, and Rebecca, as the medical staff of the team, decided to give him the serum, while Chris went on to investigate the nearby room. Inside this barely lit room, he met the reason behind the Richard situation. An overgrown snake called Yawn. The snake was looking to make a snack out of Chris, but Chris, being one of the best and the sharpest members of the STARS, used his skills and fought the snake. After some well-timed shots by Chris, Young took considerable amount of damage and retreated into a huge hole in the ground. It was near this hole that Chris found an important key that would allow him to access some of the many locked doors in the mansion. So, Chris went back to Rebecca and Richard, but he found out that Richard was not going to survive, and soon another member of the Bravo team faced death. On the other hand, Jill and Barry were able to find their way to the guardhouse and faced other monstrosities there. Some overgrown bees, more wild and crazy dogs, huge spiders, and a lot of zombies stood in their way. The situation were not good on their side as well. After looking around in this area, they figured out that they need to find an entrance to the hidden lab of the mansion, so they tried to solve the puzzles to get there. Chris and Rebecca followed the path that Jill and Barry opened before, and they entered the underground passageway. But some crazy monsters called Hunter tried to kill them, and they faced the monsters that the other group of heroes faced as well. In these underground passages, Chris ran into multiple traps that rolled a huge boulder to kill any intruder. And while he was moving through these passageways, he came face to face with the Bravo team's captain, Enrico Marini. Enrico was injured, but was not too happy to see Chris. He suspected that Chris might harm him and asked him to stay away, but soon told the truth to him. There is a traitor amongst the stars. Unfortunately, before he could reveal the identity of the traitor, someone from the shadows shot Enrico and ran before Chris can do anything. Now, the only remaining Bravo team members were Edward Dewey and Rebecca Chambers. It's fair to say that Rebecca was somehow safe with Chris, but Edward was nowhere to be found. On the other hand, in order to open the path to the lab, Jill and Barry had to backtrack to the mansion to fetch some keys and other items. Over this time, Jill witnessed some suspicious actions from Barry. He even left her trapped in an underground switch and accidentally dropped the rope so she couldn't climb back up. Finally, Jill went to a library and faced the snake Yawn. But this time, the huge snake was unable to run and faced its demise in the hands of Jill. But soon after, Jill got trapped in a room where the ceiling was descending to crush her. Finally, Barry showed up just in the nick of time and saved Jill. This was a sort of relief for Jill, because she finally found out that she can trust Barry. So they moved to look for the next item in the underground rooms, where they faced the huge and overgrown plant that tried to devour Jill. Barry managed to get his hands on a flamethrower and burn the plant to crisp and saved Jill for the second time. Soon, both teams reached the lab and faced some more crazy monsters, such as overgrown sharks and the creatures called Chimera that could hang from the ceiling and attack from the above. Their search led them to discover some secret files that revealed the ugly truth. A giant company called Umbrella, who almost owned the whole Raccoon City, were behind everything, and they discovered another shocking fact. One of the highest ranking members of the Umbrella is none other than Captain Albert Wesker. Jill could not do much when she found out about the truth, because Wesker blackmailed Barry by holding his family hostage and forced him to help. Barry was ordered to capture Jill and place her in a jail cell. On the other hand, Chris faced Wesker, and after some argument, Wesker released the pinnacle of Umbrella illegal bioweapons. This huge monster was called Tyrant, but things did not go as Wesker planned, because the Tyrant attacked Wesker instead of Chris. Chris witnessed Wesker's death and had to fight the monster, so he used the exposed heart of the monster and shoot this weak point until the Tyrant was down. Soon after this intense fight, he got a radio call from Brad. It seems like the pilot has returned to pick them up, but the chopper's fuel was running out. So Chris, on his way out of the facility, ran into Barry and told him about the Wesker's fate. Barry, who was released from the Wesker's evil clutch, rushed to help Jill, and the team fetched Rebecca and made their way to the helipad to escape this hellish nightmare. But something unexpected happened. all speakers in the lab started to announce that a self-destruct sequence has been activated, and the entire lab soon will be blown into bits. All 4 remaining STARS members rushed to the helipad, but before Brad could descend down to pick them up, the tyrant opened a hole in the ground and faced them one more time. This time, all 4 of them tried their best to fight the tyrant, but it seemed like their bullets were doing nothing and no damage to the monster. Time was running out, but before all hope was lost, a rocket launcher was dropped down by Brad. Chris ran and picked the weapon and used it to finally destroy the unstoppable tyrant. Finally, Brad was able to land, and all of them boarded the chopper. While they were flying away, they witnessed a huge explosion, and the mansion, guardhouse, lab, and all the monsters in them blew up in the self-destruct sequence. Out of the 12 elite members of the STARS, only 5 made it out alive, and all the evidence of their nightmare were reduced to ashes. But the surviving members knew the truth about the umbrella and had to make the right decision and expose them. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I have to apologize because my voice were a little bit messed up because I had a cold the other day. But if you enjoyed the video, please like and share it, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. In the next video we will cover the characters of the game and give you some information about each one of them. So, this is Daniel from RetroHaven, and until next time, goodbye.